I want to talk today about an article that's been going around to some of the biker groups here in Georgia and nationwide, and some of the takeaways, both specifically as to the defect involved, and then more broadly for safety for all motorcycle riders and advocacy groups and what they can do to start getting involved in some of the broader safety issues surrounding this. The article I'm talking about is the tire defect allegations against Goodyear on Harley Davidson motorcycles. What has happened is there is a Goodyear tire that Harley Davidson used on its motorcycles, I think starting back in 2006 going forward. It's called the Dunlop D402 tire. And here are some of the stats. They're mainly used on Harley Davidsons. They've failed allegedly in 11 states, 4 deaths, 22 injuries that we know of, all of that since 2006. And this article specifically talked about the Morrises. It was a husband and wife who were traveling back in 2008 up to Myrtle Beach for their anniversary weekend. Coming through Georgia, their tire allegedly blew out, and Mr. Morris lost control. His wife was on the back of the bike. She passed away. Mr. Morris was severely injured. He's recovered, but lost his wife. And it goes through talking about that and how on that particular tire, there was only 700 miles on the tire. And it sparked, along with others, over 12 different lawsuits across the country against Goodyear. Now, there has not been a recall on these specific tires, and Goodyear says it's not defective, that it was one of 3 things. 1, overloading, 2, underinflation of the tire, or 3, defects in the road causing the tire blowout. Many of them have been settled. Others are still going on with the lawsuits. So I leave it up to you all as to whether you think if you've got this tire you need to replace it or not. Again, no national recall yet, but it is certainly of concern. Here's the broader takeaway from the investigation that was done from a safety perspective for all of us riding motorcycles. 2 key things that stood out to me that I think advocacy groups need to jump into and you all need to be thinking about. Obviously, as Goodyear's arguments in these cases go, you need to be looking at the inflation of your tires constantly. You need to be looking at overloading of your bike and obviously avoiding hazards on the road. But when it comes to defects in tires and how to avoid them, there's really no way. Here are the 2 areas that are of concern. 1, all cars and SUVs since 2007 have to be manufactured with tire monitoring software. You're probably familiar with that if you've got a 2007 or earlier model. Bikes don't have to have it. Seems insane to me. I mean, of all motor vehicles out there that should have this technology, it should be bikes. If you have a blowout, you're more likely to be injured or killed on a motorcycle than you are even in an SUV or other 4-wheel car. How that has slipped through regulations is unacceptable. The second one is there's no requirement that the rim of the top of the wheel of a bike must contain the tire when there's a flat. Okay, it's beyond just like a run flat tire. They're talking about not having a full-on blowout where it just disintegrates and all you have is the rim itself. Obviously, that's a big concern for motorcycle riders as you lose control. Absolutely required since 2007 on SUVs and other 4-wheel vehicles, not on motorcycles. Again, it's unfathomable to me that this has not been dealt with yet when we're talking about a device such as a bike that you lose control, that could be the end of your life, unlike when you're in a secure car or SUV. So it's something that I saw that I was quite shocked about, and hope that folks like Abate and others nationally can continue and or start up the cause to try to get these safety implementations in for motorcycles and its riders that our four-wheeled friends already have and have had for over 10 years. So be safe out there. If you've got these Dunlop tires, make your own decision on whether you think they need to be replaced given the evidence that's out there. Again, no national recall yet, but there's growing evidence of something being awry with these tires given the amount of incidences that are out there. And to look at these two initiatives, see if there's anything that you guys can do if you're part of another safety group to advocate to have the laws changed so manufacturers of tires for motorcycles and the motorcycle manufacturers themselves have to abide by the same regulations for SUVs and other motor vehicles. Thanks for watching today's video.